Good day. My name is Natasha Pansegrouw. I have a degree in animal sciences and I am finishing with my postgrad senior certificate in higher education. My two major subjects are natural sciences for senior phase and agricultural sciences for the FET phase. I also have a year experience in teaching for grade 7's Afrikaans first additional language as well as grade 9 natural sciences and Afrikaans first additional languages. I believe I should be considered as a dynamic tutor because I bring more than just subject knowledge to my lessons. I adapt my methods to suit different learning styles, making sure every learner feels included and supported. My lessons are interactive and engaging, using real life examples, activities, and creative resources to spark curiosity and to keep learners motivated. Class, today we are going to learn about two important processes: self-pollination and cross-pollination. It occurs when pollen from a flower is transferred to the stigma of the same flower or another flower on the same plant. Think of it as the flower fertilizing itself. The process ensures the plant can produce seeds even if there are no other plants nearby. Many plants like peas and tomatoes are capable of self-pollination, which help them reproduce reliably. Now moving on to cross-pollination. This happens when pollen is transferred from one plant to another plant of the same species. The key here is that pollen comes from a different plant, not the same one. Cross-pollination is one of the more beneficial because it increases genetic diversity, leading to healthier and more resilient plants. The transfer can be carried out by wind, insects like bees and butterflies, or even animals such as birds or bats. Let's start off with some few questions. The first question that I have on the screen is, what is pollination? And can you name the parts of a flower involved in pollination? And then the last question is, why do you think pollination is important for plants? It's a simple flower. So we will start from the top, working our way down. The first line indicates to this green part here in the center. It's also magnified here. Top little finger bit parts is called the pistil. This whole green structure is also known as the female structure of the flower. So the first top part, the finger-like structures, is called the stigma. Alright, on this image, that is the female part that we are looking at. If you have a very close look, we have an orange yellowish structure coming out from the side here, which is also known as the male structure of the flower. This is also called the stamen. Then we have the red petals on the outside, which is there for protection, and it's called the petals. The last little bit that we have here at the bottom, this is the green little piece of leaf that usually protects the flower before it opens. This is known as the sepal. Now we are going to have a closer look at the male parts as well as the female part of the flower. The first one is the stamen. Alright, I'm just going to write there the stamen. On the stamen's head, we will find that there are little black dots on this image. Little black dots. These little black dots represent the pollen. Then the actual round little structure where the pollen is located on is called the anther. And then finally, the stem part is the filament. And then we have the male part. The female part of the flower is called the pistil. From the top, we have the finger-like structures. It is called the stigma. After the finger-like structures, we have a small channel going down. This channel is called the style. When you go all the way down into the style, into the belly part of the female reproductive organ, we have a small little void on the inside here. This void is also known as the ovary. And inside of the ovary, in this case, the little black dots represent the ovule, also known as the seeds. And these parts will be fertilized when the pollen enters the female part to make mature, fully formed seeds ultimately. Some images of animal and insect pollinators. At the very top there, you will see there is a mammal licking what seems to be a flower. This will also help to pollinate those flowers. Then we also have a little hummingbird there in the right hand corner, a little mouse on the left hand corner. In the middle we have a butterfly, a bee, and a little ladybug. All of these animals and insects help to pollinate flowers. We also have wind pollination. This is where the wind ultimately spreads seeds and pollen into the air, and then it will drift to the following flower to be fertilized. Question was, define self-pollination and cross-pollination. So on a lined piece of paper, I want you to be able to differentiate between the two. Then, number 2, name one plant that uses self-pollination and one that uses cross-pollination. And number 3, why is cross-pollination important for genetic diversity? Let's test your understanding of the work that we've done. Question 1, define self-pollination and cross-pollination. Number 2, name one plant that uses self-pollination and one that uses cross-pollination. Third question, why is cross-pollination important for genetic diversity? Thanks so much for being on my lesson today. Hope you learned something new.